Hello. Welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. Girl, wash your face. This is a perfect book for me to review because earlier tonight I was having s'mores with my family and I was informed that I looked like the marshmallow Joker. Marshmallow in and around my mouth. Can somebody please wash me? We're outside, I ain't got no mirror. Hi, hello, I'm Taylor. I'm a little weird, but hey, I like s'mores, and maybe that's something we can connect over. I hope that you guys like reading, because I love reading, and even if you don't like reading, this is perfect for you, because I'll just tell you what the books are about. Then you don't even have to read them. You can appear informed to all of your friends. You're welcome. Hey, Tia, first comment to the broadcast on YouTube. We are live on YouTube and Periscope. Chloe, how were you the first comment to the broadcast on Periscope and it was that long friggin' comment? Yes, I wash my face with orange juice, Berto, that's correct, and I sweat orange juice as well. Only a little weird. I mean, I'm pretty weird. I'm probably one of the weirder people you'll come across, but you know, what is normal? So, I don't exactly remember why this book is called Girl Wash Your Face, but it was recommended to me by a fellow avid reader in the chat, Miss Kate. Her username on Periscope is Disabled Belle. And before I dive into this, if you don't know, these are the people over the last 30 days that have made this channel possible. So big shout outs to them before we get into it. Thank you guys for making this broadcast and this channel possible. I go live on Periscope every single day, 7 days a week, 3 hours a day. So if you like this kind of stuff, follow me if you want. Hey, Ryan. Nah, with cheese. Yeah, because I smell like cheese, according to, what was her name? Crap. Jasmine Collins. Wolf Pups on sale at Vaughn's, 15-pack, $10.97. Dog Brown, those things mess with my stomach. I'm too old for that. Am I reading? I'm not reading, I'm doing a book review. So I already read this book. This was the this was one of the 5 books that I read during National Library Week, April 19th through the 25th in 2020. It is now May 4th, 2020, and I'm coming to you live with this stream. As you can see, it's a live stream, so it's not the most succinct book review you'll probably find, but I love to discuss and engage, and I want to say thank you to Kate for recommending it to me, because whether or not I love a book as much as someone else does, I love hearing what you guys like, what makes you happy, and if it's a nonfiction book, I'll pretty much read it. So as long as you've read it, you liked it, please do recommend me some of your favorite books. I love to explore different perspectives. So you can DM me on Twitter, you can DM me on Instagram, you can email me nextjuice@gmail.com, you can comment on this video on YouTube, however you like to communicate, and I will add it to my list. Ooh, Nina, toe painting skill. Actually, I am really serious. I was joking about this earlier. Really due for that, like, soon. See, most of my toes look good. Why are my toenails growing so fast? I feel like I just did that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I drank the other night, and when I drink, I usually mess up my toenails by, dragging my feet around like some kind of animal. So I do need to do a pedicure scope. So stay tuned. Stay tuned, Nina. Don't unfollow. I don't usually wash my face, but I'm not a girl. You don't wash your face? You think that's a girl thing, to wash your face? Interesting. What are your guys' perspectives on washing your face? Girl thing, guy thing? Everybody? Nobody? You're not the only weird one. Totally like that myself. Okay, perfect. This is perfect. Jasmine Collins says, I guess she does. It's okay, Luke. I read so that you guys don't have to. I'm in the middle of reading my next book, which is called Poor Charlie's Almanac, which is about Charlie Munger, who is the right-hand man to Warren Buffett. It's a very, very interesting, good book, and we'll talk about it. Yeah, Samantha came out. All right, so Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. I think the best way to summarize this book is like my last book review, which I did last night, which was about Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and It's All Small Stuff by Richard Carlson, which was another book I read over that week, one of the 5 books. So with this one, we basically went through the table of contents and talked a little bit about what each of those chapters was about. If you don't wash your face, you're grody. Hi, Sonam, I haven't seen you in a while. I probably haven't washed my face in years. Okay, I have a question. What about your belly button? Neon green oval nails. Oh, that probably looks so nice. Drinking messes things up. I agree with you, Luke. Chloe washes her face with cheese. Okay, so this book isn't really about washing your face. It's the subtitle is Stop Believing the Lies About Who You Are So You Can Become Who You Were Meant to Be. So she's like a writer and also like a motivational social media influencer type person. Can you be Warren Buffett's friend? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he's like accepting friend applications, but it's a human thing. Julia agrees. So all the girls say that, Josh, you should be washing your face. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, my last day of classes is in 2 days, actually. So did you already finish school? Or you were in, why do I want to say you're in high school? Am I wrong about that? Belly button gets cleaned every day. Okay, that's good. Hi, Julia. Hi. Did I see Angela come in here too? Yes. Hey, I hope you do too. Okay, good. All right. We're all here. Good. So basically there's 20 chapters and they're all considered lies. So lies that we tell ourselves or believe about ourselves that keep us from reaching our full potential, right? And keep us from doing all the amazing things that we want to do with our lives. The first one, and a lot of this is going to sound similar to what we talked about last night, so we're reiterating a lot of common themes and concepts, and a lot of these books I read in this week all had similar themes, which was actually really random. I just picked the shortest books on my shelf that I hadn't read yet, and they all seemed very similar. And they've been helping me a lot to work with things like cutting back on gossiping, cutting back on criticizing people, cutting back on needing to be right, working more on my listening skills. So lots of really good stuff. So I encourage you guys to get into this type of genre. You don't have to read the books. Maybe you listen to them on audiobook, or you read the ebook, or you listen to book reviews and hang out in communities like this. But start opening your mind to self-improvement if you haven't already, because I really think that's the key to having the life that you want. It's so easy to complain about everyone around you and not realize that, like, what you can do, because you can't control them, you know? We can't change other people. Her friend Jen Hatmaker said the phrase to her, actually, and she used it for the title. Awesome, that's good info. We got insider scoop. Thanks, Kate. Yeah, Doc Brown, yeah, I was in Walmart dressed up like a clown. I do dares sometimes, so if I get $100 on the website or 100,000 super hearts on Periscope in one day, I do dares. You're in college now. Okay, you started scoping when you were in high school. Okay, awesome. Yes, what is your major? And you're in Canada, right? I will sometimes wash my face if I have a bad cat job with allergies. That's about it. Oh, because of allergies. Okay. Great. So, great. Everyone with the face washing things, that's somewhat relevant to the book, but I'm going to dive into the book now and see if we can try to, for the replay viewers, get into this. We've been live for almost 10 minutes and haven't really talked about it. Okay, number one lie. Something else will make me happy. Last night, this was referred to as everywhere you go, there you are. So if you're unhappy here, wherever you go, you're probably going to be unhappy there. So blaming it on your circumstances, your environment, your surroundings is kind of passing the buck, right? Rather than saying, okay, how can I choose to be happy? How can I find happiness? What makes me happy? How can I be a happy person no matter where I'm at? So that the external world doesn't affect my internal world. So that's a lie, that something else will make you happy. Because something else can't really make you happy. You have to consciously choose to be happy, because it's not easy to just be a happy person. You really do have to focus on positivity. I'm so happy people are washing their faces. Can't see anyone's comments. Oh, do you want me to put them on the screen? I think I can do that. Is that annoying for me to like interrupt the broadcast right now to do this? I am Canadian. I'm studying music technology. That's so cool. Chat box. Yes, I would like this, please. Wait, I need to log in. Luke says, be rich. Be rich what? What makes you happy, sweetheart? A lot of things. Being called sweetheart is not one of them. But so many things make me happy. But a lot of the things that I would want to say are external, right? So thinking about what I'm grateful for, right, in terms of intrinsic motivation, but other things make me happy, and I know to, like, for example, stand-up comedy, you know, that's something outside of me. I like to watch funny videos and funny people and be around funny people. So when I'm feeling kind of down, I know I can go, if I want to choose to be happy and keep myself happy, make myself happy, I can go on YouTube and I can find these funny videos to kind of lift my spirits. So even though that's an external thing, internally, like I said, you can do a gratitude practice. There's a lot of other things as well, but again, we're going to try to stay focused here. At the same time, I'm trying to put the chat on the screen because some people can't see comments on Periscope because they have been glitching. And I'm wondering if I can do this quickly enough to not slow down the stream too much. Quick. Chat. Oh, I'm doing a little too quick. It's popping up on the screen like that. All right, now I have to find a place to put it. On my chest? Can you guys see that okay? Should the text be black? Would that be easier to see? You write a gratitude journal every day? That does help. That does help. Should I make it bigger? Is this too big? I don't know what's about to happen. Te amo, también. Alright, so most of these comments are Periscope. I think if you comment on YouTube, it should come up here too. Do better, Periscope. Let me get some of that change too. What change? Oh my god. Alright. We love self-improvement. Yes. Okay. To the better race. What? What better race are you talking about? What are you talking about right now? I'm so happy. Oh, I already read that. Okay. Being rich, you think? I think if I was rich, I would be happy. That's not true. So, and if you think, so financial success doesn't usually come before happiness. Happiness comes before that. So you can have financial success and not be happy, but if you're going to be happy and rich, you have to be happy beforehand. That was another book I recently reviewed called The Happiness Advantage by Sean Aker. I believe it's pinned to the top of my Twitter profile right now. You can check it out and see what you think. But they talk about that people think that money will make them happy or success at whatever goal will make them happy. But it turns out that happiness is more of an indicator of success, that you're more likely to be successful if you're first happy. Print is about 1/50th of an inch. I made it. Oh, wait, maybe I can actually make the size bigger. Yes, I can. I'm not testing this at all. I'm just updating it live. We are live testing this while I'm trying to do this book review. Is that too big? I feel like that might be too big. Is that better? Is that how you want it? Can we go a little smaller? You'd be happy with hair like mine? Okay. Oh wow, there goes Luke. So I can't be held responsible for the people cussing in my chat right now. I'm from upstate New York. Okay, Katie can't see comments either. Alright, hey Dill, what's up? On my chest, yeah. Magnifying glass, took a while. Some of the most unhappy people are rich or were. Interesting. What makes you think that? Okay. 6 months into rich cloud phase, then you go back to feeling like you did before being rich. I think so too, Miranda. So what's interesting, I've heard this, and I haven't looked into it myself, but I've heard that there's studies that say that when you get past the poverty line, you do actually experience an increase in happiness because your life is less stressful, and you know what I mean? You're experiencing a higher quality of life. And as your income goes up, you could say that you have an increased quality of life, but after a certain amount, I think it's like $80,000 or something like that, $80,000 a year. Once you're past that level, it's like everything else, all from there to billions of dollars, your change in happiness is really kind of insignificant. Like you did before being rich. I'm not rich. I mean, compared to people in poverty, I'm rich, but I don't make more than $80,000 a year. Thank you, Sonam. Thanks for coming in. Test me with riches. I'm sorry, I'll stop. Please give me money. Whoa. Hi from Manchester. Oh, do I have it like in a place where it's like low on the screen? Well, I really don't want to spend this whole time like trying to put the chat on the screen, so I mean this is the best I can do. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go into the book review now. So enjoy listening. If you can't see comments and engage with comments, just enjoy listening. Hi Kyle, how are you? It is going well. So for some reason your comments are not on the screen. All right, something else will make me happy. The number 2 lie is that I'll start tomorrow. But I think a lot of us probably know, because a lot of us watching this or listening to this are probably adults, and we know that tomorrow never comes. With dieting, with exercising, I'll start that tomorrow, I'll start that project tomorrow, I'll make that video tomorrow, I'll read that book tomorrow. Tomorrow never really seems to come, or it comes and goes very quickly, and you just keep pushing it to tomorrow. So, okay, you had one good day, and then like, all right, well, and then you fall off the bandwagon. Well, I'll get back on my diet tomorrow. And then you just let the whole rest of the day go downhill, and then tomorrow you're like, well, tomorrow is even better, actually. Well, I don't want to do it in the middle of the weekend. Oh, I don't want to do it in May. Like, June would be better. You know what I mean? Like, putting things off. Good, Kyle. Oh, your comments are coming up there. Okay, awesome. Didn't want to make it weird. I think I'm missing comments now. I don't know. All right. So number 3, the lie is that I'm not good enough. Compared to who, right? So we compare ourselves to unrealistic ideas of people. You know, we think other people have it all figured out. I talked about this a lot last night. Nobody is perfect. We are all a work in progress, and you are good enough, okay? And try to focus on what you have rather than what you want sometimes, you know? Exercising is good. Yeah. Hey, George. How are you? Number 4, the lie. I'm better than you. So again, this is this comparison, this superiority, inferiority kind of situation. No, that's not how it works, okay? If you're better than someone at one thing or in one area, it doesn't mean anything, you know? Each human is so unique that they simply cannot be compared as better or worse. Everyone is so unique in their whole experience, you know? Thanks, Kyle. Number 7, nope, actually, just kidding. Number 5 is loving him is enough for me. Loving him is enough for me. So this is written by a heterosexual female. Whatever your sexual orientation, this is basically saying that a relationship, a romantic relationship with somebody is enough for you, right? That's all you need is to just love someone else. And I think in that chapter she talked about a bad relationship that she was in, which ultimately she ended up marrying this guy. I believe it's her husband now. It was a bit confusing the way it was written. He was much older than her. She lied about her age, and then they eventually end up sleeping together, and he wouldn't call her his girlfriend. He's like, oh, we're just friends to his friends, and he wouldn't really treat her well, and he broke up with her at one point, and she was really upset, and then he came crawling back, and he really wanted to be with her again, and she did end up taking him back, and now it's her husband, and now she's like so happy. She's like a totally different person or something. I don't know. I don't totally get it. Hi, Arnold. How are you? Number 6, the lie is that no is the final answer. No is the final answer. So I think that's actually like a sales, that was a chapter about like sales. So she says, you know, if you can't go in through you have your dream, right? And you're trying to get to your dream, and picture your dream as like this house, and you're trying to get inside the house. Well, if you can't go in through the front door, try the back door, try the window, try the chimney. Take a sledgehammer to the wall if you need to. You get to that dream by any means necessary. You don't take no for an answer. From the world, from people telling you can't do it. For her, it was writing a book, right? Nobody wanted to publish her book. It was too clean. It wasn't dirty and raw and sexy enough. And no one wanted to do it. So she just kept working at it and kept changing. You don't want to just assume that your rough draft is this perfect, gem and other people aren't recognizing it. You can take feedback, improve and change and try new strategies, but also try different ways to get to your goal, like self-publishing perhaps or whatever. Yeah, she married him. I thought that was so weird. Yeah, it was like I didn't fully understand like what really happened with that relationship. Like I didn't really feel like that was expanded on enough that I was able to understand how they ended up being together ultimately in the end, Be persistent. Yep, that's a great way to say it. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Number 7, the lie, I'm bad at sex. I'm bad at sex. I don't know if this is something that both men and women experience, but in her experience, she was like always thinking, oh, I'm not doing enough. She was always worried about how her husband was perceiving the sex and making sure that he was satisfied, that she wasn't really enjoying it herself, and she would always comply. She never said no to him, but eventually they stopped having sex after a while. And she asked him one day, why aren't we having sex anymore? And he said, well, I got sick of being rejected or turned down. And she said, but I've never said no or rejected you or turned you down. And he's like, no, but I can tell that you don't want to, and you're just doing it for me. And that's not attractive, right? That's not sex. So I only want to do it when you're into it, right? That's hot. Like if we're both wanting to do Thank you, Bob, for the super hearts. I just put that gif of me dancing like a banana. Oh, that cracked me up way too much. I just put that up. That was the first time it came up publicly. And that was great. Thank you, Bob, for the super hearts and allowing us all to see that ridiculous gif. He treated her like crap. She stood up for herself. And when he apologized, she took him back. She stood up for herself? Interesting. Okay. And when he apologized, she took him back. Okay. Persistence overcomes resistance. Ooh, I love that. I love that. Never could what, Luke? That gift made me so happy. Better at sleep than you? What? Oh, Tippy said, I'm always sleepy. You're always sleepy? Have you talked to your doctor about that? Non-communication. I feel like some of the comments aren't coming up on the screen. Okay. So then she realized that when she was all in her head, like a neurosis, right, like Josh said, thinking about all the things that he must be thinking about or comparing her to all the other girls that he's been with and all these things, she said, but really for him, anytime that we were gonna have sex, his main thought was boobies. Yes. And I know that's like an oversimplification of the male psyche, but it's a funny, right? She's a funny. It's a funny book to read. You know, she makes a lot of jokes and she's got a good sense of humor. And it's not necessarily that's exactly his thought, and that he doesn't have any deeper thoughts than that. But it's that like you could be so caught up in your own head, and the other person's just happy to be able to have sex, right? They're like, yeah, I'm getting sex. It's gonna be great. They're not like thinking, oh God, I really wish that this was different about her body or whatever it may be, you know? My girlfriend never has a headache. Wait, is your girlfriend in your hand? Why'd you put your hand there like that? Nothing wrong with boobies. Oh my God, Chris! Did you guys see that Chris asked the same question as Josh? He said, what if I'm a boy? Do I have to wash my face? I mean, I know it's called Girl Wash Your Face. It's written for women, but like, everyone should wash their face. Okay. A whole banana. Hey, Roast. What's up? Hi, Sarah. Are you excited for the double episode on Wednesday? Okay. That's all I'm thinking right now. Boobies? Oh God, should I put a shirt on? I feel like I should put a different shirt on. Are you talking about my boobies? I don't like that. I'm gonna maybe have to just block you or something. Okay. So when she realized that he's just happy to have her and he will do whatever to make her happy and to make her want it. And then she started to pursue her own orgasms. I'm trying not to say this too loud because my kids are upstairs. But she made it her mission to make sure that every time they have sex that she orgasms. And it's like a group team effort. And she has these great orgasms now. And now they use all these different types of sex toys and all these things. And she's a Christian. Like she's an adamant Christian. And she talks about her faith a lot throughout the book. But she's like, but I still have sex and I still enjoy having sex, right? Within like this monogamous relationship that I have. And our sex is great and it's amazing. It's better than it's ever been. And we have sex all the time now. And, you know, that doesn't happen to a lot of people in relationships. So she wanted to make sure she included a chapter about that. You don't wash it in the shower though. I mean, in the shower, if you can wash it in the shower. It doesn't have to be in the sink. Wash your face, damn it. Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh yeah, giggity giggity. For what? COVID-19 safety? Wash your hands. Yes, wash your hands and don't touch your face, actually. Actually, yeah, on second thought, don't touch your face. Thank you for the super hearts, Brad. Why didn't the banana pop up? Oh, why is it not here? Thank you for the super hearts. Is it just the big super hearts that get that or something? I have so much to learn. Would you guys prefer the chat being in black? Okay. The next lie, number 8, is that I don't know how to be a mom. I don't know how to be a mom. You can learn, and nobody really knows. It's kind of something you learn as you go, but also I highly recommend. I'm a stepmom, and I just became a stepmom like a year and a half ago, so I'm not a full-time mom. I don't understand how people do full-time momming. I don't know how people do single momming. Y'all are so undervalued in society. But also, like, stop having kids with guys who aren't going to be there to help raise your kids. Now, if he died, okay. That one's not on you. But it's a double-edged sword, right? So single moms is going to be the hardest job in the world. And single dads, too. I shouldn't just say moms, right? This is a book for women. So she's talking about moms here, but I don't know what it's like to be a dad, but I assume it's equally as hard. So single parents, let's put it that way. Kudos to you for taking care of your kids, doing the right thing, and doing the hardest job in the entire world. On the other side, let this be a warning to those of us who are having promiscuous sex with people who probably aren't going to make great parents. Maybe don't do that, because especially not unprotected. Because if you have a child with this person and then they go away, you are left with that child, and children are so energy intense. You need to have infinite amounts of energy, and I believe that we do have, some infinite amount of energy in the spiritual sense, whatever. I try to believe that, right? It's something I use to keep myself from taking a nap when I'm really tired, like today. At the same time, it's really, really, really helpful to have a partner and to have a teammate who's helping you with the child rearing and the parenting stuff. So, word to the wise there. Ben, thank you for the super hearts. How come Bob was the only one who got the banana? The banana's not coming up anymore? But why? Super hearts. Banana gif. It should be there. Okay, Matt, we'll just have it with a woman who's going to be a good mom. Let me recopy the URL. Maybe that'll help. Super Heart gift box? Is that what I called this? Why did I call it that? I feel like it should be renamed to alert box, because that's what they call it. Why are there two chats? Some people can't see the chat in Periscope for some reason, but also there's people. Oh, and now it's popping up before I even. And now that's the smallest Super Heart. What's going on? Don't catch an STD, please. Please isn't gonna cut it, right? You're gonna need more than that. You're gonna need condom. Or STD tests on both parties before the sexing. Baby daddy thinks with small head. But unless he's raping her, right? Okay, so that's another thing. If you're a single mom because you were raped, right? Okay, right? That's, again, not on you, most likely. And I don't know, being raped is never on you, right? But some people claim rape when they're very, very drunk. And the other person could be very, very drunk. And I've had conversations about this before on Periscope. It's probably not the most popular opinion, but there's all shades of gray with all situations, right? I don't just write off every single thing as like across the board. But if you were raped violently and you know what I mean, weren't under the influence, you didn't make any bad choices, and someone raped you, then again, there's a whole mantra of like, don't be there, right? Well, maybe you got raped at like a frat house, and maybe you got roofied or something, and that's horrible, and that is not your fault. At the same time, if you are in situations where that's more likely to happen, like at a bar with a bunch of drunk college guys and you're the only female, you don't have like a buddy or a partner or somebody who's watching your back and you're planning to go get shit-faced drunk, you know what I mean? Like, try to avoid situations like that, because horrible things can happen to you, and you could not only end up raped, which is probably the worst thing anyone can think of happening to them, you could also end up pregnant with your rapist baby. I mean, I cannot think of a worse situation for anyone in the world. So we have to protect ourselves. We have to defend ourselves, because there are predators out there, and self-defense is very important, and like protecting ourselves and looking out for ourselves is a very important responsibility, and for our children as well. So I just want to stress the importance of being wise with our decisions, okay? There are certainly victims of all situations, and in those cases, they could end up being single parents, and that's not on them. But there's a lot more, I would assume, single parents, like my own mother, for instance. She raised me as a single mom, my dad, she just didn't want to go be with my dad because my dad was in the military. And her dad was in the military, and she didn't like moving around a lot as a kid. She felt like she could never really set down roots. So instead, she chose to raise me as a single mom with no child support from him at all, while he went down and lived in Florida, the place that I have wanted to live forever. And I didn't even get to meet him till I was 19. And I went, okay, there's a whole lot of stuff about my life that happened from that choice. And I just think that if they had just used a condom, you know, I guess I wouldn't exist, but at the same time, there were better choices to have been made there, okay? By both my mom and my dad. Yeah, I don't know, Sarah. Okay. Probably the biggest benefit of marriage, being a single parent, is never ideal. Ed and his ex-wife were married, and she's now a single parent in a sense, right? When they're with her, she's on her own doing her thing. So, I mean, we help as much as we can, like, virtually, but she is a single parent. So marriage is not a complete protection against that either. Interesting. I don't agree with this for Bob. So Bob said, if during your marriage your wife gets impregnated with seeds not yours, it's hubby's responsibility. I don't agree with that. No. If it's not your sperm, it's not your baby, right? You're not responsible for someone else's baby. You can choose to take care of the baby if you would like to, but I don't believe that morally you have a responsibility to that person. Hey, Billis, how are you? Or maybe someone broke in your house. That's probably pretty rare. It is very rare. So, of course, that has happened, and it will continue to happen, sadly. And in these cases, you're absolutely a victim, right? But I feel like many times throughout history, being the victim and saying I'm a victim and having a victim mentality is an attractive way to cover up our bad choices. Okay, this isn't someone breaks into my house, right? This is, I made a bad decision. What if I play a victim? How can that benefit me? How can that protect my reputation? Okay, and horrible things have happened to people because of this, particularly men. Particularly horrible things have happened to men at the hands of women who were ashamed about a choice that they made and didn't know how to undo it, because you can't undo it, and decided to do something that I think is almost, I mean, I don't know that there's anything unforgivable, but to accuse someone of raping you when it was not the case, or because you simply don't remember, or something like that, I don't know. It's a very, very gray area, and I've not been raped, so I shouldn't really even speak on it anymore. In Arab countries, some rape victims are killed. Wow. The orange box is sparkly. Orange box? What orange box? What would you have chosen if you had the option, live with mom or dad? Both. Yeah, I mean, I would rather her have gone with him. Hey, hello, hot. How are you? Thank you, Chloe. If a girl plays with her hair, it's a precursor to sex. Or she just has a lot of hair and it's really annoying. Like me. He should have used a condom. They both should have used a condom, yeah. It's the law, check it out. I don't know the complete situation between my conception, but I suspect there was no condom involved. That's what my dad said. My mom said that the condom broke. I tend to think that my dad's probably telling the truth on that one. And I was young when my mom told me that, and she probably didn't want to tell me they didn't use a condom because she knew I would call her a hypocrite. And so instead she said, well, we did use a condom, but it broke, right? I don't know. Maybe it did. My dad was like, I don't remember any condoms being involved in that time of my life. I don't know. My mom was his bartender. Like, I no offense to bartenders, right? But this was like a different era. And yeah. Anyway. It's the law. Check it out. The law in what state? Because custody, parental rights, I believe, vary between states. You're a victim of what? A lot of women can't have kids because abuse their bodies. Because they abuse their own bodies, or what? That's also like crying wolf. It could potentially hurt future rape victims. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it, is crying wolf. Yes. Hi, Cher. So yeah, I mean, if someone says they were raped, I'm going to err on the side of believing them. But at the same time, it's going to be really hard because you don't want to prosecute someone who's innocent either, you know? Because that's a sex offender crime. This person now has to notify all their employers and neighbors and everything that they're a sex offender. We want to make sure that they really are, you know, before they have to carry that scarlet letter around with them. Mom's been a bartender before too. We're very much alike, I feel like. Our backgrounds. Similar. Okay. So I'm bad at sex. Or no, I don't know how to be a mom. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I got into a huge tangent there, and there's a lot of good discussion. So what I wanted to say was that there are a lot of resources. There are classes, there are books, there are support programs, there's government-funded programs, so you don't even have to pay for it. There's a lot to be learned about parenting, and it can really help. So if you feel like, I don't know how to do that, learn. Hi, Shelly. How are you? And know that still, even after you learn all that stuff, you're not going to do a perfect job. And that's okay, because all of our moms messed us up, and we will mess up our own children. But hopefully, each generation to generation will mess up our kids in a little different way, and a little, hopefully, less way. We don't try to mess them up, and I don't think our moms tried to mess us up either. In many cases, right? If our moms abused us, it's different. But in my case, you could say that my mom messed me up in some ways, but she did a good job, right? She did her best. The lie next, number 9, is I'm not a good mom. Comparing yourself to other moms or having this preconceived notion of what a mom should be like, right? A mom should be able to work full-time and then also somehow be a full-time caregiver to her own children, and also, or maybe they shouldn't work, you know, they should just stay at home with their children if their husband does, you know, makes enough money, or maybe they should cook and clean and not have anybody help them with those things. There's a lot of different perceptions about what makes a good mom or even a good wife, and to kind of let that go and realize that, like, you're present in your children's life, you work hard for them, you love them, you do what you need to do in the way that you can do it, that takes care of you, because it's the only way you can take care of them. So you must actually first take care of yourself so that you can take care of them, right? If anyone's had a newborn baby, which I've not had for more than overnights, okay, I've never had my own child, but I was the godmother of a child, and I used to have her overnight, and she had extreme colic, and she had a teenage mother, and it was extremely stressful just in those overnight periods. And I had times where I was like, I can't shower, I can't sleep, I can't eat. And this is like, I was like babysitting this child, right? And I realized, oh my gosh, like, moms don't get to just bring the baby home to someone else ever, right? They just have to deal with this, moms and dads. So sometimes you have to, like, let the baby cry for a little bit so that you can get some food, or get some sleep, or get a shower. You know what I mean? You have to be able to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you won't be able to take care of them. You won't be fit to take care of them, and you'll end up shaking your baby or something. You know what I mean? Like, you need rest. You need to take care of yourself so that you can take care of them. And if work makes you, you know, your healthiest version of yourself, then being a working mom, there's certainly no shame in that. No more shame than there would be in being a working father. So, I mean, I think everyone knows that I fall on the spectrum of working moms, because my mom was. I love my work, and I certainly have no criticism of women who work and are moms, and I have no criticism of women who stay home and are moms either. All right. Number 10, the lie. I should be further along by now, right? You look at someone in your age bracket and you say, oh my God, they're running their own multi-million-dollar corporation. What am I doing? What have I done with my life? Don't compare yourself to other people, okay? There's no should. Don't should on yourself. You're where you are. It's great. A great way to do this is think of all the things that you've accomplished over your life. Think of big achievements, big accomplishments. Think of things that you did over this past year. Look back in your calendar and see all the things that you did, all the things that you tried, and all the places that you went, and everything that you went through, and everything you survived. And the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. And you can really start to feel like, okay, I'm much further along than I was, and that's great, right? I'm moving in the correct direction, hopefully. Mine has to work 2 jobs because no father. Wow, that's crazy. That stinks. KY? The jelly or the state? Oh, you're speaking Russian. Привет. I don't speak Russian, though. Most men increase their income after a divorce. Wait, heard most single moms' incomes drop below the poverty line after a divorce. You heard that from where? Hi, I loved this book. Oh, good, Shelley, yeah. Okay. Number 11, the lie is that other people's kids are so much cleaner, better organized, more polite. So this, not only do you rob your own joy when you compare yourself to other wives, other moms, other people, other business people, but you now can rob your children of their joy by comparing them to other kids. Oh, why can't you be more like these kids? Hey, look at those kids. Look how they're behaving. Why aren't you like this? There's an interesting phenomenon. So my stepsons are twins, and according to Ed, supposedly it's because they're twins. And even just the way I just said that, you can tell I'm like hesitant to even accept that, because I'm like surprised by their social skills outside of our immediate family. Like when they're engaging with other kids that they don't know, and even just with people, like even just conversational skills, they are so much, in my opinion, behind my younger niece and nephew. I mean, my nephew's, I think, 3 years old. My stepsons are more than twice that age. So I look at my nephew, who can sit there and engage, have a full conversation. He tries to get their attention. We do like video calls, and he'll be like, hi, hello, hey, and they just ignore him. Like they're just like, meh, like zombies. I'm like, what is going on? Like how they just, and I've seen like, though, like we'll be well, not anymore, but when we were able to go out in public, we'd be at like Chick-fil-A, and there's like the play area, and a kid will go up to them, hey, do you want to play with me? Dude, just say no if you don't want to play with them. Instead, they'll just like act like they don't even see them. And I'm like, your kids have social deficits. And he's like, no, it's a twin thing. It's like apparently like with twins, like they always have their play partner, so they just like don't really feel the need to play with other kids. Like sometimes they will, right? In schools and stuff, eventually they'll warm up and they'll actually create two different social networks, right? They don't always play with the same kids, and they don't always connect with the same kids. But at first it's kind of like you have that secure base, and you're just kind of like, I don't need to play with you. I'm good playing with him. I don't even need to speak to you because I don't need you. Like, I don't know. Some kind of weird, like, psyche. And I'm like, that's so fascinating, because it's easy to kind of look at that and be like, something wrong here? Like, and kind of do that thing where you're comparing kids to other kids. And really, like I said earlier, all humans are so dramatically unique. You just can't really compare them to each other, right? They're just different. Everyone is different, you know? Of course, you want to keep an eye on, like, if you think that your kids have autism or something like that. That doesn't seem to be the case with these kids, right? It's just different. My niece and nephew are allowed 1 hour of screen time per day. These kids don't have any limits on screen time at all, and they spend the majority of their day in front of a screen. So it's just different, right? And whether or not that's part of it, I don't know. I don't know. What's up with the comments? I put them on the screen because of wait, what is Todd, do you need to be blocked? What's going on? Todd, can you please clarify what you're saying so I should know if I could block you or not? Yeah, so don't compare each other. Men like to complain and whine about it, but child support is needed. Wait. Okay, but Josh, you didn't answer. Where did you hear that from? Can you give me an actual study that proves that? Because I would think in many states the women do usually get awarded child support, especially if they don't work, right? And oftentimes they're also awarded alimony, which would, I assume, the intention of an alimony program and child support program is to keep them living the life they were living before. And I've heard also of many men whose lives are completely destroyed by a divorce because their ex-wives are awarded so much alimony and child support that it basically destroys their ability to live an independent life. I know these people, like Robin Williams, I've heard, was in that situation before killing himself, but also he had the precursors of Parkinson's, so that could have been related to his suicide as well. But I also know a guy right now, personally, who is going through a divorce and has to support his ex-wife and their multiple kids, and is having a really hard time paying his own bills and having a separate life where he can support himself as an individual person with his own house and bills and life, and her life and the kids, because she does not work. explains why child support is critical. It's interesting because not always, the woman doesn't always take care of the kids, right? So it could be 50-50 custody. I've also heard situations where the custody arrangement is set so that it's pretty much 50-50, but the woman gets the child like one more day per week. So it's like, what, four and 3, you know, of the weeks. But it's like, it's almost 50-50. It's like 2 extra days a month. I think that's what it is. And because of that, because she has more than 50% custody, she can be awarded alimony and child support. And that was part of why she did it that way. Which is, I don't know. It's tricky. Hi, Juan. How are you? Heard it on a radio show years ago. Man was arguing why he shouldn't have to pay. Haha, that's funny. What's up with the comments? I answered it. Scroll down. Oh, you heard it on a radio show. Okay, well, that's not anything we can really know for sure then. But someone said, what's up with the comments? They're on the screen because some people on Periscope can't see the comments on Periscope. Let me take care of this one over here. Okay, next lie. Lie number 12. I need to make myself smaller. Power poses, right? So power poses are a position with your body where you take up a lot of space. You can try it right now. Put your arms out, spread your legs wide, just really occupy space and see how that feels. They've done studies. There's a great TED Talk about this by Amy Cuddy, and she talks about if you hold these positions for 2 minutes at least, your testosterone levels will increase, your cortisol levels will inversely decrease, and you will feel more confident and you'll feel less stressed. Cortisol is related to stress, testosterone is related to confidence. Male or female, doesn't matter. We all have testosterone in our systems and cortisol. So by making ourselves appear larger, it's the fake it till you make it. You trick your body into thinking, yo, I feel pretty confident right now. Put your feet up on the desk. Great power pose. Stand up. You know, hands on the hips, Superman pose, Wonder Woman pose. It's amazing how that can affect you. So making yourself larger as opposed to making yourself smaller and shrinking and trying to just not be seen and not be addressed, that actually decreases your testosterone and increases your cortisol. So it makes you feel more stressed. And thank you for the super hearts. Thank you so much. Good one. I'm glad. I don't know, Josh. You could try it. Oh, thanks, Jenna. That's so nice. Thank you. I went in the hot tub earlier tonight, and like before this broadcast, my hair's still kind of wet from that, so I wasn't really sure how it was going to go, but it seems to be calming down decently. Hey, Pushkar, what's up? What is up? All right. The next one, chapter 13, was the lie of, I'm going to marry Matt Damon. I guess this author, Rachel Hollis, is that her name? Rachel Hollis had this fantasy about marrying Matt Damon, and she was so sure she was going to marry him. She was always trying to figure out how she's going to meet this guy and how she's going to marry him. And eventually she realized, okay, that was kind of a lie. I told myself, I'm not going to marry Matt Damon. But she did notice something important about herself in doing this, which is that when she gets really clear about a goal, she visualizes it, she plans it out, and she goes after it. And that it's important to do that for our goals, to get really clear on exactly what we want so that we can move towards that. And I can't agree with that more. Oh, good, Josh, good. Okay, so I can hide the chat box now? Great. Great. If I can actually figure out where it was. I don't love having it on the screen because, you know, people aren't always the most respectful. Oh wait, instead of doing that, why don't I just go like this? Bingo. I love when women take up space. I do it all the time too. Yes! Is these belong to share market? What? I don't know what you're asking me. Still have a slight problem with motivation and procrastination. That's okay. It'll come. Just keep practicing. That's true. You're never going to be perfect. You know what I mean? So just keep thinking about why. Like Brittany's Quest put this on her Instagram story earlier. If you're having trouble getting motivated, think about why you wanted to do these things, why they were part of your agenda and your plan. Why should you do it? And that can help to motivate you. The deeper meaning of why, right? What you're trying to accomplish. Maybe you're trying to move out and live on your own. That's a motivator, right? Like, I don't want to live with my mom anymore. I want to live on my own. I want to support myself. I want to get my life together. Great, so do it, right? Do what you need to do to get there. Josh, you were the only one who had said that you couldn't see them. You said Kate couldn't either, but I assume if you fixed it, you can teach her how to fix it as well. Chapter 14, The Lie. I am a terrible writer. So if that's for her, it could be something else for you. Whatever it is that you kind of dream about doing, and then you're like, oh, but I'm not good at that. Maybe it's like modeling, right? I'm 5'1". Say I really wanted to be a model. Oh, I'm too short. It could happen, right? If you really, really want it and you do the work to do that, you could probably be some type of model for like petite clothing. I don't know. I remember my friend is a model, and I went with her one time to a fashion show, and I was helping her beforehand, like trying on different outfits. It was like a rehearsal or something. And I was there helping around, and someone was like, oh my God, you're the perfect size. Like, will you model one of these outfits? And I was like, no, because I don't want to do that. But I was surprised. I was never expecting that kind of an offer where someone was like, oh my God, you fit so perfectly in this jacket. You know, it's a designer who made something a little small. It didn't really fit any of these like taller models. So she sees a small person and she's like, oh, that's perfect. And I'm like, no, thank you, you know. But it's possible. That goes to show that even a short person could be a model in one fashion show in the world. Unwillingly and without searching for it. So for her, she was a terrible writer. Remember, anything that you're starting new, right? You can't compare yourself to the greats, the people who've been writing for 20, 30 years. You have to just start where you're at. Again, this comparison thing. Start where you're at. At first, you're going to be terrible at it, most likely. Chances are you don't have this natural, innate ability to do anything, right? Maybe to a certain extent, but then you're going to hit a wall. You're going to need to practice. You're going to need to learn. You're going to need to just go at it and chip away and chip away and chip away, and you'll get a little better all the time. And you get a little better. Your first book won't be that great. Next book will be better. Book after that, even better. 20 years from now, you'll be writing really great novels or whatever you want to do. Turning down modeling gigs. I don't think it was a paid gig. I don't know. I also just, I think it was probably more of a thing where that was like my friend's thing, and I wasn't really trying to become I was there for her, right? I was there to help her. I wasn't there to like take any spotlight or anything like that. It's also just not really my thing. The number 16 lie is I can't tell the truth. Oh, I can't tell the truth. So we all have things in our lives, little like secrets or things that we're kind of ashamed of, things that we're worried that if we share this with people, we're going to lose all credibility with them, But that's not the reality. Like, there's something called the pratfall effect in psychology, and it says that if you mess up, right, if you have a mistake, if there's something about you that's kind of like quirky and not so perfect, that actually endears you to people more. People actually like you more because you're more real, and it makes them feel a little bit more relaxed about themselves. So rather than being like, oh my God, this person's so perfect, like I hate them, you can kind of be like, okay, this person has like their weird things. They haven't been perfect their whole life. They've had their problems and their struggles, and they just tripped, and now I feel better because that means that even if I tripped, it's okay. We're all on the level playing field. We're all a work in progress. And sometimes we need to be reminded that when we see someone who's this appearance of being basically perfect, New to science. Hello, how are you? This happens a lot on social media because people want to put out their best selves, their best images on social media, their best accomplishments. Thank you, Ed, for the super hearts. Do you like my new GIF? I put it up last night. 2:30? Why Chinese people? So it's sometimes we see social media and we think, oh, this person's got their life together, their life is great, all these things, but it's just not the reality, right? People aren't putting up when they get out of bed, when they're constipated, when they're plucking the hairs off of their beard or nipples or whatever. Okay. The IKEA effect? What's the IKEA effect? Thank you for all the super arts. The number 17 lie is, I am defined by my weight. I am defined by my weight, and we only have a couple more left after this. So you're not, right? You are not defined by your weight. And I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but it's so true. Like, even just last night, I was looking at my own hips and stomach in the mirror, and I was kind of like, oh, and then today I was meditating. Was I meditating? Yeah, I was meditating right after the shower, and I was laying down, and I felt kind of crummy, and I was like, oh, I have so much I need to do and I want to do, and I was being kind of hard on myself, and I thought, cut yourself some slack, take your own advice, use some self-compassion, just chill out for a minute, give yourself 5 minutes to breathe and get it together. And I'm kind of just staring at the ceiling fan, and I go, greet the day with love, right? We've been doing this love mantra now for today will be day 12, and I'm looking at the ceiling fan, and I go, I love you. And then I had been feeling really hot. And I was like, oh my God, ceiling fan, I do love you. I'm going to turn you on right now, and you're going to make my life so much better. And it did. I was like, oh, I feel so good. And I just laid on the ceiling fan for a while. And what was the purpose of this story? Oh, and then I don't know, I just like had my hands on my hips or something like that, or my stomach, and I was like, oh, because I was saying I love you ceiling fan, and then I was like, I love you uterus, because I had cramps. I was like, oh, I love you. And then I felt my belly, and I was like, I love you belly. I even love you, like extra pieces of me. I'm gonna miss you when you're gone, because I just love you. And I'm just trying to be more loving lately with this love mantra, and it felt really good. I was like, oh yeah, that felt great. Hi Dave. If a tree falls in the forest, doesn't make a sound if no one is around to hear it. I mean, the sound waves exist, but there's no eardrum to receive it, so you decide. How people like something they put work into more than if they didn't. That's also like the loss aversion effect. So the more you put into something, the more you don't want to lose it, People rate IKEA furniture higher than equivalent pre-assembled furniture. Seems counterintuitive. It doesn't, though. It's intuitive if you understand cognitive biases, like loss aversion, right? I put work and energy and time, sweat, love, and tears into this, and I feel proud of it because I put it together, I figured it out, so I don't want to lose that thing now. If you just gave it to me, I don't really care, right? I don't have any skin in the game, so I'm not as attached to it. But still, even if you give it to me, I still don't want to lose it. Like, even if I have something, it's that's why people do like free trials. Like, oh, here, just try it, totally risk-free, 30 days. If you don't like it, just send it back, because they know most people won't send it back because it's this loss aversion. Like, they don't want to lose something that they now have. Once it's part of their life, it's like, oh, but now it's my thing, and I don't want to get rid of it. If somebody just sees a mug on a shelf at a some type of like pottery shop, they're just like, okay, mug, I don't care. But if that exact same mug was in their house and someone was like, can I have that mug? Like, you'd be like, no, it's my mug. Like, I don't want to get rid of it. It's my thing, even if you never use it and it sits in the back of your cupboard and you didn't even know that you had it. I'm reading about observation and perception, and they just used that quote. Wait, which quote? Wait, did you say it before? Oh, the tree thing? The thing that you said? Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting topic. Let me know if you like that book when you're done reading it, and recommend it to me. All right. The lie, number 18. So you're not defined by your weight. Number 8, whether you're fat or skinny. So I'm actually a relatively thin person. I've gained a lot of weight, so I'm starting to become more like I understand more where people are coming from than I used to. But I feel like very underrepresented in this weight debate is people who are thin. And people say horrible things to people who are thin as well, and we can be very insecure about being skinny and being too thin. So it goes both ways, right? But your weight doesn't define you, and the reality is that most people don't care about your weight like you do, at all. Earlier, it's like what I said earlier in my private Periscope group right before this. Taylor, no one cares about your eyebrow. Just go live. Number 18, the lie. I need a drink. Right? I'm not against drinking, but do you need a drink? Is a drink gonna help your situation? I don't know. All things in moderation. Let's leave it like that. Thanks, Zach. What about my eyebrows? Number 19, the lie. There's only one right way to be. There's only one right way to be. Again, individual uniqueness. There's everything. There's things that are right for you that aren't right for me. Even in diet, they're learning this more and more, that different foods are. It's not just like, oh, take fish oil, eat a keto diet, like all these things. Go vegan. I have a friend who was vegan for a couple years, and she started losing her hair. Her hair started falling out, and her doctor said, "You need to eat meat. Like, you need to stop being vegan." That's very countercultural, right? People think, oh, vegan is like this health thing. Well, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, okay? We all have different gut bacteria. We all have different DNA. We all have different weaknesses and strengths in terms of, like, our body's ability to handle different foods and nutrients and where we're deficient and where we might have too much of something. So there's not one right way to do anything, really. A treatise concerning the principles of human knowledge. Ooh, sounds like I would like that. I literally deleted my story because of my eyebrows. I shouldn't have cared. Yeah, because you know what? Nobody else cared. The tree thing. Okay. And the final lie of this book review, lie number 20. 1 hour? We've been live for an hour? When did that happen? I've also had being too lean affect me. Yes, men have this, maybe even more than women, where they feel too thin. Yeah. I've had customers send me away because they didn't think I looked big enough to move their furniture. Yeah, I remember I used to work with this guy who was like the strongest guy I probably ever met in my life, but he didn't look like a strong guy. Like, he wasn't jacked up, and he was kind of short, and he was a little bit chubby. Like, no offense to him or anything, but you wouldn't necessarily look at this guy and go, oh, I bet this guy can, like, pick up. And then he would just, like, there would be this thing that I couldn't even move, like, with the whole weight of my body. I couldn't move with my legs pushing against it. I couldn't move this thing. He would come over and just, like, pick it up and, like, walk away with it. And I'm like, what just happened? Steve Jobs is an example as well. What about the one right way to be? It was first written in 1710, so crazy to think about what the author was thinking at that time. I love reading old books sometimes, as long as they're written in language that I can understand well enough. It's so fascinating. You're like, oh my god, they knew this back then, and it feels like I just figured this out, you know? Like, why wasn't I reading more books this whole time? I think that's part of why I love reading books, because I realize I could have known so much of this stuff so much earlier, right? Why isn't this the stuff we were learning in school? Instead, I was learning how to read a freaking analog clock. Which is, like, mildly useful, but at the same time, what the hell? Okay, anyway. Chapter 20, the lie. I need a hero. Be your own hero. You don't need a hero. You're not a victim. Okay, none of this learned helplessness, Pavlovian type concept. You don't need a hero. You don't need somebody to take care of you. I mean, maybe you do, right? You could be, like, dependent for certain things. But at the same time, it's a symbiotic relationship, hopefully. You're not, if you're watching this and comprehending it, you know, you might be dependent on, like, caregivers, assistive devices, but you don't need a hero to, like, save you, right? There's an abundance of people available to serve your needs, your basic needs. But for many of us who are not in that category, we are fully capable of being independent. What are we sitting around waiting for a hero for? You know, I feel like this is more applicable to women. Sorry, I know probably more men now than there used to be that are in that category as well, but, you know, don't sit around and wait for a sugar daddy. Wash your face. Wash your face. Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. I hope you guys enjoyed this book review. We had a good discussion. We got off on a few little tangents there, but they were all somewhat related to what was in the book. If you don't know, I go live here on Periscope every single day, 7 days a week for 3 hours a day. I know we had a couple technical difficulties here, but big thank you to Ed and Bob and Ben and Brad for the super hearts. We got almost 15,000. And now I'm going to power this down, and I'm going to be back live just on Periscope doing our love mantra of The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. My next book review should hopefully be on the Poor Charlie's Almanac by about Charles Munger, but it's a huge book. It's like an encyclopedia style book. It's an almanac. So if for some reason I need to read a smaller book, like if say we go on a trip or something like that, and I don't want to bring this huge book with me, then I might end up reading a shorter book and be back with that. But I'm going to be reading a lot of investing books, a lot of parenting books, a lot of psychology books, a lot of sales books, a lot of business books, a lot of good stuff coming up this year. So please do subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow me on Periscope if you're not already. It's Next Juice everywhere, N-E-X Juice, J-U-I-C-E, and I really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys did too. I hope to see you on the next Juice. I'll be live in just a few minutes. And this has been A Moment in Time with Taylor. Bye.